The heat wave felt around the world continued this week. In Phoenix, Arizona, temperatures have surpassed 110 degrees for 22 consecutive days. Throughout the state, emergency room visits are up. People are suffering not only from heat exhaustion, but from second and third degree burns because pavements and metal surfaces are reaching temperatures of higher than 180 degrees. You burn yourself just for touching a building or touching something that's metal. One Phoenix area emergency room told doctors, told CNN that his ER hasn't been this overrun since the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic. Most of the United States, huge swaths of Europe, China, India, pretty much most of the northern hemisphere are currently experiencing the hottest summer on record. Oceans are reaching record temperatures, too. Even Antarctica, which is currently in the dead of winter, is seeing record high temperatures. Wildfires in Canada have broken records, making this the worst wildfire season in history. Tornadoes, flash floods, which cause landslides, heat waves, wildfires. The climate crisis is here, and scientists are telling us that the worst is yet to come. But climate change, and specifically climate change driven by human activity and the burning of fossil fuels, has been in the news for more than 110 years. One of the first known reports was written in 1912 when Popular Mechanics magazine published a short article headlined "Coal Consumption Affecting Climate." Fast forward to the 1960s, President Lyndon B. Johnson said in a special address to Congress, quote, "Air pollution is no longer confined to isolated places. This generation has altered the composition of the atmosphere on a global scale through radioactive materials and a steady increase in carbon dioxide from the burning of fossil fuels." This was 1965. By 1988, climate change was a major issue. Then Senator Max Baucus of Montana addressed Congress.
This summer's heat and drought, contributing to 68,000 fires already and burning already 4 million acres, are but one piece of a complex puzzle in global warming. The 4 hottest years of this century occurred in the 1980s. The warming of the Earth's atmosphere has been directly linked to the growth in greenhouse gases, the most notable carbon dioxide. At present, the burning of fossil fuels emits 5 billion tons of carbon to the atmosphere each year.
That's a Republican. The next day, the front page of the New York Times read in part, "The Earth has been warmer in the first 5 months of this year than in any comparable period since measurements began 130 years ago, and the higher temperatures can now be attributed to a long-expected global warming trend linked to pollution," a space agency scientist reported today. So what happened? How is it that we've been having more or less the same conversation for so many decades? Well, there are a lot of reasons, dating back to the first global climate convention in Stockholm in the 1960s. But one major reason we've stalled out is the oil industry and the fossil fuel companies that worried that their profits were at risk. In 1998, a now infamous internal memo from the American Petroleum Institute, led by representatives from Exxon, Chevron, and Southern Company, came to light, in which strategists laid out their plan for climate-related messaging. The memo states that part of their, quote, victory would involve that making sure the general public had uncertainty about existing climate science. And to be clear, it's not that these companies had any genuine doubt themselves. Internal memos from some of the biggest oil companies like Exxon revealed that their own scientists had been warning about the dangers of increased emissions for decades already, since at least the 1970s. And since then, the fossil fuel industry has set out to reshape the narrative surrounding climate change, global warming, and the consequences of burning fossil fuels. It is a decades-long, literally decades-long campaign to gaslight people out of what was and remains scientific consensus. For instance, according to a report by the Union of Concerned Scientists, in the early 2000s, a group of fossil fuel energy companies gave a Smithsonian scientist a combined $1.2 million in funding to publish papers asserting that the global warming trends were the result of a natural, normal cycle of the sun. The same report, which included contributions from the Climate Investigation Center and Greenpeace, compiled a long list of the oil industry's efforts. The report found that oil companies sent their own employees to stage protests against green initiatives. They created fake grassroots campaigns in support of oil as an American staple. They sent letters to Congress posing as nonprofit organizations opposed to clean energy bills. The list goes on and on. ExxonMobil pushed back on the report, defending its actions. But big oil's effort to control the narrative around climate change, to sow doubt and denial, to posit fossil fuel companies themselves as a key to green energy solutions and to influence climate and energy policy, that effort is well documented. A climate change article published by leading scientific research publisher Springer Nature shows that trade and energy groups led by oil and gas companies outspent clean energy groups 27-1 in advertising, lobbying, and political contributions. Big oil profits doubled in 2022, by the way, raking in about $220 billion, and they are only expected to increase. Last year at the UN's Global Climate Conference, COP27, oil and gas companies had more representatives present than almost any nation, according to international accountability NGOs Global Witness and Corporate Accountability. Just recently, according to the nonprofit California-based publication Capital and Maine, as well as the sustainability think tank The Climate Center, oil lobbies have spent millions trying to block a series of green initiatives in California, Pennsylvania, New Mexico, and Kentucky. The U.S. could be a global leader in green initiatives if it wasn't for the vice grip that big oil has on this nation and on our lawmakers. It's part of a global gaslighting campaign made that much more effective by the ones who actually keep the gas flowing.